A few years ago, I put out a quick video asking people for suggestions on how I might enclose this small area to create a vestibule at my front door. Today, I'm going to show you what I did on Green Neighbour. So, before this winter sets in, I would like to build a front vestibule in front of our front door. That's the video I made back in 2019. I was asking people for suggestions on how I could best enclose this front area to create a vestibule at my front door. For those of you who might not know, a vestibule is a small room that essentially creates a neutral zone between the inside and the outside of a building. Now, vestibules are created for all kinds of reasons, but the main reason is invariably to prevent outdoor air from gaining direct access to the indoor, climate-controlled area of a building. You see vestibules everywhere. Pretty much all commercial properties will make use of a vestibule. You see them at schools, community centers, dentist offices, stores, and any place that sees a constant flow of foot traffic in and out of the building. However, homes will also make use of vestibules. There are two main reasons why a vestibule will keep your house warmer and reduce your heating bill. One, it creates an antechamber that prevents the direct flow of air into and out of the house whenever someone is entering or exiting through the door. Beyond that, when the doors are closed, a vestibule creates a barrier of trapped air in between your inside and outside doors. There are two basic types of vestibules. Internal vestibules, where the antechamber is created inside the building, like the one my dad and brother built in my brother's home. And the external vestibule, like the one my family built for our home in the country when I was a kid. Okay, you've waited long enough. Here is what I ended up doing at our front door. Now, I did not create this glass enclosure myself. I hired the good folks at the Window and Door Specialist in Richmond Hill, Ontario, and they were great. They came over one day to take measurements, and then a few weeks later I came home after work to see the enclosure had been installed start to finish during the day. The glass door is actually 1.5 inches wider than our front door so as to reduce the bottleneck when moving things in and out of the house. You can see we also added the optional sliding side light windows, which can provide ventilation for the vestibule area whenever that may be needed. In fact, those sliding windows can also provide extra ventilation for our home in general by way of our front door, as the vestibule can essentially serve as a screen door, allowing us to leave our front door open, which can be pretty handy at times. All in all, this was a bit of a pricey project. It cost just shy of $2,500, and that was before COVID and all the inflation that followed that whole thing. So I'm really not sure what this kind of enclosure might cost now. Nonetheless, I think it looks great, and I can tell you it has done exactly what I had hoped. It prevents the direct flow of outside air into the house whenever someone enters or exits through the front door. Beyond that, when the doors are closed, it creates that barrier of trapped air between our inside and outside door. And that has definitely cut down on the draft at our front door and the general cold spot that we used to have in our front foyer. That, in turn, has made our efforts to heat our home using electric heaters far more effective and realistic. Heating with electric heaters is, of course, just a stopgap measure until we get a heat pump installed in our house, but they sure do come in handy for raising the temperature of a given room without cranking up the furnace for the entire house. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you might be able to figure out a way to create a vestibule for your home.